All right, part two. So as I was saying, if you're present, you cannot be afraid because your mind has not wandered off into the future. Same thing with guilt. Where does guilt live? Guilt only lives in the past. It only lives in the past. You cannot be guilty about something that hasn't happened yet. You can't even be guilty about something that's happening. You can only experience that guilt and regret for something that's in the past tense. Now, how guilty and how bad do you have to feel about something to have erased it from happening? You can't. I was having this conversation with somebody earlier today. All you can do is make amends to the best of your ability, ask for forgiveness either of the person or of your creator, and especially of yourself. And next time it happens, do better. Learn from it and resolve to do better. As long as you do better, guilt serves no purpose. Okay? Remorse is a teaching tool where you can say, wow, okay, I went left, I should have gone right. She asked me if that dress made her butt look big, and I said, yes, it does, and I realize now that I probably shouldn't have. He asked me if this shirt made his belly look big, and I said, yes, and I probably shouldn't have. There's no reason to feel guilty about it. Just apologize and do better next time, right? You bring these things into relationships. This is the problem. When we talked about self-sabotage last time, you bring these things from the past, all this guilt and anxiety and baggage about how the last guy treated you, how the last girl cheated on you, and you bring it forward with you. And then you're so afraid that this relationship is going to go the same way the last one did, and you reach into the future and pull everything that might go wrong back there. And so you're building off of the worst of all worlds. You're taking the worst things from all of your past relationships and combining it with all the worst things that might happen in the future, and then you wonder why your relationship is on the rocks. And you wonder why you have trouble meeting that special somebody. Because as we've said before, what's the one thing that all your past relationships have in common? You, right? So, let's do something different. Now, you might be thinking, I'm a big fan of the law of attraction. Kind of wrote a book on it, which you can find on my website, peacelovemoney.com. 49 Lost Secrets of Peace, Love, and Money, by the way. And the law of attraction is all about focusing your mind on what you want to happen in the future, right? Focusing your mind on what you want to have come to you. So how can I be saying you should not concentrate on the future, but then say you should be concentrating on the future? Well, allow me to explain. Even in meditation, even when you're applying the law of attraction, the reason why it works is because your brain does not know the difference between something that is vividly imagined and something that is actually happening. This is why constantly obsessing over things that have gone wrong in your life is not a good thing, because in your mind it is happening again and again and again. He's hit you thousands of times. She's yelled at you thousands of times, even though it might have only happened once, and that once might have been 20 years ago. Every time you play it over and over again in your mind, to your mind it's happened again. Okay? So, that's why the law of attraction works. Because when you're vividly imagining things, in your brain, it's taking place. In your brain, it's happening right now. So right now, you're using this ability to manifest more negative relationships and bad interpersonal relationships and fear and anxiety, whereas you can be using it to manifest good things. The key to this is, as I've said in the past, in the book and in the videos and articles I did on theexaminer.com about the law of attraction, that you want to set aside time to do this consciously, where you sit down in your meditation and do it consciously, that this is the time that I'm going to direct my mind in this way, and yes, you want to do it as often as possible, because while you're doing that, guess what you're actually doing? You're not dwelling on the future, you are focusing your mind on the present moment, because that visualization and that meditation is right here happening in your mind right now. You understand? That's why meditation works, because your mind can't be wandering over on 1,000 different things if you're meditating. You've got to bring it back in, even on that one topic. That is why when you use the law of attraction and meditate, you have to focus on it in the present tense. That's why you have to imagine and visualize these things as if they're happening right now. Because if you think of it as going to happen one day, it's no different than anything else. All you'll create is it's going to happen one day, right? So What you want to be doing then is when you're meditating, yes, use the law of attraction and what have you, but even in your day-to-day life, just pay attention. Just pay attention. You want to have an interesting, people ask me all the time, how is it that you know so much about people? How is it that you understand me so well? I'm just paying attention to you. I'm understanding to what I'm listening to what you're saying, what you're not saying, how you say it. I look at your pictures, what you're wearing, how you're standing, who you're standing next to, what you post on your Facebook profile. People will tell you everything you need to know about them. They will tell you everything you need to know. All you have to do is pay attention. That's true of everything in life. Okay? So if there's something in front of you, here's another interesting experiment. Tomorrow when you're driving, or later today, pending when you're watching this, drive with the radio off. Drive with the radio off and pay 100% attention to what's going on the road. It will be a very different experience. Or the next time you eat without talking to anybody. Only eat. Sit and concentrate on what you're eating, on the food. Concentrate on the taste. Concentrate on every little aspect of it, on every single bite. Just be present to that meal. And I tell you, it probably will be one of the best meals you've ever had. Or you'll realize how disgusting your diet's been and never eat that particular food again. But it will be an experience. Just concentrate on focusing the supercomputer on your mind on what's actually in front of you. Even now, listen to my voice. Hear what I'm saying. Be here with me. Just like I'm here with you. People like these videos, and you wonder why you like these videos. At least I hope you like this video because you're watching it. It's because I make you feel like it's just me and you. Like the rest of the world is shut out. Because you know what? At least for these few minutes, it really is just me and you. Right? So, if there's some situation then that you're having trouble, I apologize. I was wearing this hat and it's got me like totally itchy-headed. So, I'm sorry if that's a distraction, but here's the thing. Presence still. Presence. Has the fact that I've scratched my head periodically thrown you off of what I was saying? And if it did, why? Don't allow it to. Life is full of distractions. Things will throw you off if you let them, okay? It's a question of focus. Whether or not you are happy or sad in your life is a question of focus. Because I guarantee you have more in your life to be happy about than you've got to be unhappy about. I guarantee you. And I guarantee you that no matter what you're up against, somebody somewhere would change places with you. Now you might be saying, how can you know that? You don't know what I'm going through. I'm going through something terrible. Well, maybe. Well, let's just start with a little checklist here. Do you live in a war zone? Well, then you're ahead of a whole lot of people in this world. Do you live, as of the time of this writing, in the Gulf Ocean and you're being poisoned by oil? Well, then you're ahead of a lot of people. What if you say, oh, well, I'm sick. Yeah, I've got cancer, which is terrible. But do you have cancer in a place where you're capable of getting it treated? What if you were a war refugee somewhere in Africa and you had cancer? I guarantee you that person that's laying somewhere dying slowly would switch places with you to have the exact same disease, but at least have an opportunity to have it treated. Okay? So it's all about what you focus on, what you're being present to. When you talk to people, listen to them. Don't have in your mind already thinking ahead to the next thing that you're going to say. Ask people questions and actually listen to their answers. You will be amazed how far you will go if when you talk to people, you look them in the eye, smile, and listen. Say, how are you today? And listen to what they tell you, right? And I'll give you an idea how you know somebody really needs to talk. When you say, hey, how are you? And they actually tell you. When you ask somebody how they're doing and they tell you, that person really needs to talk. If they're like, oh, I'm having such a hard day, especially if they're a stranger, listen to them, okay? Just kind of smile and nod. Just be aware of what's going on. If you feel yourself feeling guilty, if you feel yourself feeling fearful, if you feel yourself feeling anxious, just bring yourself back to where you are. Listen to a piece of music you really like, but really listen to it. Even watch a TV show you really like, but really watch it. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you are doing it with 100% focus and 100% intensity. And when your mind wanders off into something else, bring it back to what you wanted to focus on. We did the video on mind. We talked all about this. It's up on my Facebook page, /BDaveWalters, and on the Examiner. I'm almost out of time. You can find me anywhere. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, Examiner. B. Dave Walters. You're great and I love you. Okay, bye-bye.